Welcome to the Physicians, where your health is our business. My name is Dr. Memuna Yusuf Kadri, and of course with me on the studio is my lovely co-host.
My name is Dr. Martina Agberia. Welcome to the Physicians, your favorite health TV talk show, where your health will always be our business.
Today we're talking about strengthening healthcare system in Nigeria, a call to action.
A call to action. I love that word.
A call to action.
Meaning it's time.
It's time to do something.
To strengthen the healthcare system.
And to put it in a very layman, literal word is that we want to see how we can stop the jackpot.
And encourage them to come back. So it means they left for a reason. And from the reason, we identified the reasons why they left, then we strengthen and we make sure the things are okay and see if they can come back.
Exactly. Because the environment has to be ready to get them back. The environment has to be conducive, because when we talk about strengthening healthcare system, we're talking about identifying and implementing policies to create that enabling environment.
The gaps, the gaps.
And so, before our expert comes in now, what is that one thing, or before we say strengthening, what is that one thing you have identified that is a problem that we can strengthen?
Policies are there. Implementing the policies
usually our problem.
Is our problem.
But why?
I think it's just this, the political will is not there. The political will is not there. And probably you also have people that, people that you have placed there that don't even prioritize health.
I think prioritizing health is one of our biggest challenges.
How much have we allocated
to health financing? You're right, because the Abuja Declaration stipulated that all 54 countries in Africa should give 15%.
And it was held in Abuja.
And that's why it's called Abuja Declaration.
And the ones not even showing the light, the example.
I don't get it. 15% to health. Because when you look at it, health is wealth.
Absolutely.
If you are going to grow the economic power, the GDP, the human index capital, all those things, you need to be healthy. But sadly, there's so much nonchalant attitude, lack of political will to drive.
Apart from implementing the policy, how about the facilities?
The structures are not there.
Are not even there. What do we really
Let me shock you. How many of our children are doing sciences? Anyway, we'll be right back.
Don't even go there.
Because we have to promote STEM. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
But
how many of our children are
they don't even remember.
STEM?
Now they will tell you, no, I don't want to be like you anymore.
Some children say doctors are poor. I don't want to mention the children. They say doctors are poor.
I've heard it a couple of times. As well, it's good for us actually strengthening the healthcare system in Nigeria.
Very important.
It's very important. We have what it takes to be able to do that.
We have the manpower, but we need the will, we need the structure, we need the political drive, we need to make sure that there are certain things that
we haven't left the country. It's not because we don't want to leave, but we want to ensure that we are here to make things work.
If you leave, your relatives, have they left? As Martina Hoda.
So it's good.
We'll be right back after this time out. So stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is your favorite health TV talk show, The Physicians, where your health is our business. Today on the show, we are talking about strengthening healthcare system in Nigeria, a call to action. And of course, with us in the show today is our lovely, amazing, lovely guest, Dr. Alero, who is a public health physician and a senior lecturer with the College of Medicine, University of Lagos. Dr. Alero, you're welcome.
Thank you back. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, lovely as always.
The smile is what's
looking pinkish, reddish, a touch of red.
A touch of red.
Yeah.
I just love her smile. Always.
Yeah. infectious and contagious. Yes. So, Dr. Alero, we're talking about strengthening the healthcare system in Nigeria, a call to action. Before we do a call to action, what are we strengthening? What are these issues that are...
you see, now that these issues? Me on my yes. Soapbox, and you know that this thing just escalates out. So the health system is not just Federal Ministry of Health, or Lagos State Ministry of Health, or any Ministry of Health. The health system is everything that impacts our health. So the health system is actually impacted not only from within the health sector, but also from sectors outside the health system, i.e. agriculture, i.e. road network, i.e. infrastructure, i.e. economic strength, i.e. politics, i.e. legislature, education.
So that's multidisciplinary, multi-sectorial approach.
And all of this comes into the health system, because the health system is everything, including manufacturing, including distribution, you know, and these are the things, including technology. And these are the things that sometimes we sort of shut our minds to when you said something that, you know, people sort of switch off that, okay, health. You sit down somewhere first. There are more important things. We have defense to think about. We have security to think about. All this impacts the health system. After all, God forbid that we find ourselves in a conflict situation and our trained officers, our trained security agents get hurt or injured.
Then what happens?
So then again, you've got the health system coming in there. So when we're talking about the health system, we have to realize that we're talking about everything that is going to contribute to making us live our best lives as human beings.
Good.
So now we are talking, we brought it home for all our viewers out there. It's not just Ministry of Health, Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, everything that is related to making that person healthy, better, live a life, you know, not just enjoy the life you are living, not just enduring it. So are there segments to this before we go into the strengthening of this healthcare system?
Okay, so yes, there are. The WHO has named how many? Six
foundations. Like health service delivery, health workforce, health information, and all
frameworks. And you see,
frameworks.
You said a call to action. I don't know about you, but me, I am tired of talk.
Let's walk the talk.
Let's walk the talk. So when you've got all these beautiful frameworks, they've come together, World Health Assembly, this one and that one, all the health ministers, they've put together these beautiful frameworks. The point is that, can we now begin to walk the talk? Okay, let us, because we've been talking about health system strengthening, health system, HSS. It's a thing in public health. It's a thing. We go and learn about it in your master's in public health course, health system strengthening, and what is needed and what is not needed and what not. But let's focus on that call to action. What do we now need to do? We are here.
After identifying the ways that need to be strengthened,
that we are living in this economic crisis crunch that we are living in, are we recovering post-pandemic? Where are we going?
Exactly.
Okay. And that was if anything good could have come out of COVID, it was that it exposed
everything, everywhere, globally.
So everybody now has seen that, this thing that we have been relying on was nothing stronger than wet tissue paper. You understand what I'm saying? That disruption in manufacturing, disruption in distribution alone, look at what it led to. You know, and this is the problem with health system strengthening, that we're now having to look at both from a global to a local level. And it's something that we really need to, and at the end of the day, what we are asking people and what we are trying to bring awareness to is that, how do I, as an individual, contribute to this health system strengthening? Am I asking too many questions?
No. Okay, so you know what? The WHO actually said that it's a process of identifying and implementing the changes in policy, in practice, in a country's health. Okay, so what are those particular things that we need, that have been identified
that we need to implement?
That we need to implement.
So it's so funny because you mentioned this thing, and of course, you know me, I will now go and start doing my little research here and there. And I like to do research that is relative or relevant to my local context.
Okay.
You know, we live in a global world, but at the end of the day, we're looking at what is relevant to our own global, our own local context. And that was the most important thing for me. So I found a piece of research that had actually been done in low and middle income countries.
Like where Nigeria is inclusive.
Now,
yeah.
I wonder where we live there.
They mentioned 5 things, of which 4 resonated with me deeply, because I could relate to each and every one of those situations. Let's talk about the first one. Realigned relationships. Now, realigned relationships. That is building mutual trust and collaboration across different sectors.
Good.
The relationships must align, yes. You can't be doing something in education and then you exclude youth and
so it's like a unit and a sub-unit. You can't be independent.
Yes. And in the health sector, we know deeply. We know now, girls, I mean, relate with me on this one. We know what that lack of trust has caused for us.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, is it interprofessional? Is it intra-professional? Is it intersectorial? Is it intra?
And then who suffers it at the end of the day?
And then who suffers it at the end of the day?
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
Everybody does.
Everybody does, because everybody has a relation, a relative, a loved one who at some point or another needs health care. And this is where the crunch comes. So we're talking about that realigned relationship. We're talking about foresight. Foresight. You know, people, we cannot continue to live with this, God forbid, attitude. Whether you like it or not, everybody born of a woman is going to need health care at some point in their life.
Yeah, and we can't keep doing the same thing
and
expecting different results.
Thank you very much.
In denial.
We're living in denial. So we must have foresight. We must be able to plan long-term planning for not only the infrastructure, but the human resources for health.
Multi-years approach.
And the truth is that if you fail to plan, you actually have planned to fail. So that is where we
have to have that foresight. Added to the foresight needs to be motivation.
That's where the problem is. So.
Thank you very much. Now, motivation is that big killer.
In fact, Dr. Alero, let's wait in that motivation. Let's see. We are going out now with keeping up with the physician. You out there as a Nigerian, how have you seen the healthcare system? Have you ever gone to the hospital and you found out that there's a decay in the system and you couldn't get treatment? Because we're talking about strengthening the healthcare system. How do you want the system to be strengthened as a Nigerian? Now is a time to call for action. We'll be right back after this time out. So stay tuned.
Our health department or Ministry of Health, they need to work very hard to ensure that we have some certain things in place. As I recalled, during the era of COVID, that's when we were kind of panicky, trying to fix this and fix that, because we don't have such facilities in Nigeria. Thank God that, like in Alero now, the primary health center has been rebuilt. It's looking good and it's looking great. So if they can replicate that in almost all parts of Lagos, almost all parts of Nigeria, it's going to be beneficial to all and sundry.
Healthcare system in Nigeria, as it is right now, is bad. And if governments can help us in some ways, like giving us a good hospitals, good facilities. Another thing is salaries. When you want to pay your doctors, you pay them well and pay them at the right time. They will have more strength, more ability, and you encourage them by the way you give them facilities. They will make them work properly in the hospital.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is your favorite Health TV talk show, The Physicians, where your health is our business. Today in the show, we have been talking about strengthening the healthcare system, a call to action. It is imperative that this discussion must be heard, because when we talk about health system strengthening, we're just literally talking about the fact that we want to identify and implement changes in policy and practice in a country's healthcare system. And Dr. Alero Robert has been schooling us, giving us a very well-detailed explanation on how this can be done. Before I went on break, Motivation was one of the things she spoke about. How motivated are you as a Nigerian? So, Dr. Alero Robert, how motivated are we?
How motivated are we indeed as a people to, and you know, the motivation is also based on that first one I mentioned, that alignment, that building trust. So trust is a two-way thing. Trust is an ongoing thing. And it is clear and evident from what we saw during the pandemic that people have lost trust in the health sector and the health system. Now, two different words, health sector and health system. So rebuilding that trust is going to take a lot of time. And so the point is that it does not pay us for us to say, I'm not motivated. You know, and when you
motivate yourself.
It has to start from within.
And in that motivation, we now as individuals, because I will always speak from the point of the common man, from the individual, because I too have lost trust in government. But then I have the power and the right now to say, right, I don't trust this government, doesn't mean I don't trust government. Because I too am a part of the government. So governance systems, we know governance works. The point is that we have an individual and collective responsibility to now motivate ourselves
and do the needful.
And do what is needed to build back that trust. Build back that relationship through, I mean, we're all mothers now. We bring up children. And there are times when your children does a great thing, goes to school, comes back, all A's. Hey! We go and cook our favorite food. And there are times your children go to school, come back, and there's something in their school bag that should not be there. What do? Disciplinary action straight away. Does that mean you don't love the child?
No.
Does the child stop loving you? No. That's the trust. And that's why up to now, both all of us were laughing and we were saying, don't let my mother catch me. And yes. Do you understand? That is the motivation, that is the trust, that is the relationship. Sometimes you do good, you are hailed. Sometimes you don't do so well, you are going to be disciplined or you are going to be castigated. And that is what we need to do as individuals to ensure that we build back a governance system that we can trust.
And we are proud of.
Doesn't mean we are going to be blind stupid. No. It means we are going to apply that monitoring and evaluation and watch and make sure they are doing what we need them to do.
Now you talk about monitoring and evaluation, okay? And if we actually do monitor and evaluate the process and we find the gaps and we lay it before the people, the policy makers, how do you really think they will actually go with the policy?
Oh, yes.
The policy makers?
Oh, yes. The truth of the matter is we are human beings. And really, there are very few human beings walking the earth that actually wake up in the morning and say, I'm going out to do a bad job. Let's be honest. Now, whether a job is done well or not done well is dependent on the parameters that define job well done, job not well done. So a thief goes out to steal, he wants to do a good job. He wants to steal very excellently well and get away with it.
And not caught.
And not get caught. Okay? Now, how do you define good job well done, job not well done? So these are the things that we need to look at. And we need to have defined, as a society, have we defined the parameters of a strong and resilient health system? God so good, it has been done for us. Okay? Collectively, the world has sat down over the decades since the establishment of the WHO and defined what a strong and resilient health system needs to look like. God so good, pandemic showed us that no health system was strong enough or resilient enough against a pandemic of unknown origin. And it showed us where the gaps were. Different societies had different gaps in different places. Challenges, challenges at different places. We had our own. God so good, the pandemic did not actually physically as clinically affect us the way it did other high income, but it exposed our gaps. And we were all like, thank God it could have been a whole lot. If I was predicted to be a whole lot.
A lot, where no dead body bags on the street and all that,
body bag, exactly, you remember. But it did not. But it served a very crucial call to action.
So this is where we need you to expatiate on healthcare financing. we talked about it at the beginning, that this was even held in Abuja. It's called Abuja Declaration. Where all the states in Africa sat and said, look, 50% of every country's GDP should go into healthcare.
It's a fantastic...
Where are we?
You see, that is a fantastic... That is what would I call it? That's a fantastic slogan.
Yes.
Cliche.
Cliche, yeah.
That's a fantastic cliche. 50% should go into healthcare, 50%. Have we defined health system in Nigeria separate from health system everywhere else? Because whether you like it or not, we are at a level of development where our health system is spread along many sectors, all of which are contributing to the health system. So it's very unfair because contributing 15% to your health system is not contributing 15% to health sector. It's not contributing 50% to health service delivery. So which one are you?
So that 50% is to
exactly
go around all the sectors, which is inadequate, highly inadequate.
Which is inadequate, number one. Number two, it's well spread out. So I am employed by the federal government. I was trained by this federal government. Coincidentally, right from secondary school, I am one of the beneficiaries of an educational system completely Nigerian. No part of my education has been outside this country. I'm very proud to say. And I'm standing here and I am uncommonly good at my job. So I am well trained by the Nigerian educational system. Is it still like that?
No.
But
what happened? What happened?
That is why we need to get back. So we have achieved that standard. We have done it already.
And the rule of thumb,
we just need to get back there, and then we can exceed. So when you are saying 15% to the healthcare system, don't forget that everything is involved. We cannot talk health system without talking agriculture, without talking food security, without talking security, without talking conflict, without talking emergency preparedness, both for conflict, natural disasters, and man-made disasters. All that contribute to the health system.
So our 50%, if it comes to Nigeria, is inadequate.
Well, I wouldn't say that is inadequate. What we have not
Let us even reach there, sir.
No, in my personal opinion, we've exceeded it. What we have not done is evaluated it.
Oh, so we have to go back to monitoring and evaluation.
That's M&E.
Let's evaluate it and now know what worked, what didn't work, and what didn't work. Yes.
And why it didn't work. So we are doing an impact analysis, a gap analysis. Then we can now sit down and even a root, all the analyses that they talk about. That's what we need to do.
That way we can then now know what we are building on, what we are even modifying, what we are eliminating, and what,
Well, we have a long way to go.
But we have to
start from that.
And this is what we are saying about foresight. Because, as we say, government come, government goes. Now we will remain. And if we have foresight, we will tie into that. And say, right, government go, government come. Now we. So it doesn't matter which government is in power.
Exactly,
so long as we hold them accountable to what needs to be done.
I think, in management, we always talk about strategic management, and they will give the leads, the direction of where it should go to. So if you don't have the person who actually has that will, the interest that has to do with health, the person will just neglect it. So the leadership in governance is actually very important.
And to bridge that health equity issue, it's important that we look into distribution leadership. Because in distribution, people are, you know who is doing this, it doesn't have to be this hierarchical, but there's that bi-directional kind of approach where everybody is aware, but you know what to do, how to do it, and it makes things easier.
And we have an example even in our country. Everybody is still hailing us over the 93-day miracle of Ebola. What people simply forget is that 93-day wonder of Ebola was predicated on a decade or more of strong leadership in the health sector regarding polio eradication.
So what has worked? Worked.
I've never seen where something that works you just discard.
They didn't put it aside because that was what helped us even with COVID.
Even with COVID,
we just
built upon what was on ground.
Now, how about now?
It is still there. What we need to do is strengthen it and make it resilient. Don't forget the key word is resilience. And the other keywords are call to action.
So what are these key points? Call to action
has gone as far as it can go by itself.
Yeah.
Now we have to transit from sector to system.
So, Dr. Alero, as we round up, let's speak to Nigerians, regulators, everybody. What are these last-minute words when it comes to strengthening healthcare system, the call to action tips that they should go away with?
For me, it is very simple. Monitoring and evaluation. What is happening around you? Document it. Raise an alarm. Raise your concerns. If you are anxious about anything, you have questions, ask. Hold your elected representatives accountable. It starts at the grassroots. We must start with the primary healthcare clinic, the primary school around you.
No more fake promises.
No more fake promises.
Broken promises.
Broken promises. No more.
Back to it again.
This is affecting us.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Alero. You've all heard it all from our lovely guest who has broken it down on how to talk about and be aware about strengthening the healthcare system in Nigeria, a call to action. Please, it's our collective responsibility in ensuring that we identify and, of course, implement these policies. But, of course, monitoring and evaluation is one key word you need to understand, and that is a call to action that we need to take away from here. My name remains Dr. Memuna Yusuf Kadri. Until next time, remain blessed.
I join my voice to that of Dr. Memuna to say it's actually a collective responsibility. We have to make it work in our nation. Remember to follow us on our social media handles on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and on Twitter. If you want to be part of this program, you are just a click away. Send us an email. And if you have not been watching, you have missed some past episodes. We have a lot of them on YouTube. Just go there and binge. Till next time, my name is Dr. Martina Agberie. Stay blessed.